Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at Heavy Load. This is an expedition to unlock the outpost in the Sonoran Desert. This one is a doozy, let me just tell you. We gotta get to the Sonoran Desert, but it starts us in the Grand Canyon. So to start off, we're gonna follow this route over to the gateway to Coconino, which you then have to cross Coconino to get to the Sonoran Desert to get to our objective. And the first thing we have to do is pull out a stuck truck. In addition to that, once we got the truck rescued, we have to do some exploration. So because of the length of this journey and the exploration that we have to do afterwards, I brought with me specialists Akane Nishida and Dimitro Kovo, who's a mechanic. That gives you 20% or less fuel consumption. So we'll be able to make this fuel stretch a very long way. In addition to that, we're using the Thatcher Force. I've got the sideboard packed with fuel, and I have the fuel tank add-on as well. So we should have more than enough fuel to make it there. In addition to that, I do have anchors and jack screws. So with that, let's get started. Yeah, jump over my speech there. So we're going to head all the way over here to the climb down that we'll be able to use to get across the river. We're also going to be coming across several rock clears and bridges, all of which I have already cleared out for the purpose of making this guide. One of those, if you've watched my guide so far, is going to be in Sonoran Desert, so you will not have seen me cross that route before. When we get to that one, I will point it out. So we're just going to go ahead and make our way down this climb here. It's nice and easy. Get down here. And the first thing we're going to do is we got to go across these two bridges here. These two bridges are 150 spare parts to open these up. So if you don't have these two bridges open, which most of you probably already do at this point in the game, but just in case you don't, 150 spare parts to get these two wonderful bridges open that are kind of annoying to get across because they're just not staggered correctly. Especially with one of these big trucks like this. So once we get across the bridges, we're going to head to the right and make our way down the coastline here. Yeah, this mission is, it's honestly one of the most difficult missions in the game that I've come across. Especially if you're just kind of doing this for the first time, because you know, on top of having to cross 3 maps, but there's just so much to do. You got a truck that's in a super difficult spot, and because it's so far away, you really have to make sure you bring enough resources to get this done. So a common strategy, you can either use this Thatcher Force, just jam-packed with fuel, or you can bring additional trucks with you as well. You know, I'm very much a one truck, one mission type of person, as you've seen from the guides, with a couple of different situations where we're going down multiple paths. I'll use multiple trucks to save time, but I kind of like just picking a truck and saying, hey, I'm going to do this mission. So, all right, once we cross over the hill here, we're going to make our way through this canyon. To do that, we're going to go up on the left side here. You want to be careful not to get that big rock on the ledge there, because that can cause the truck to kind of lose its balance a little bit. And this is honestly one of the hardest parts of this run, is this route through the canyon here. But that was probably the hardest part of this right here. So the rest of this is pretty easy going. So we're just going to continue to make our way through the canyon here. I'm going to go to the left side here. And then we're going to get down into the water here and just go right up the middle. That was a close call there. So we're going to go right up the middle here. And we're going to climb down these rocks. And we're going to climb down this next set of rocks here. And now we're going to go right in between these giant rock formations here, just right up through the middle. We'll cross over onto the left side here. And now we're going to go ahead and follow this path here. This is going to take us all the way down to the lake. Once we get to the lake, we're going to go around the right side of the lake, and that is going to get us right to the gateway. So here's the lake. So like I said, we're going to stay to the right side here. We're just going to kind of navigate our way through the trees here. And then over on this right side is a nice place to cross here. Cross right over here. And now we're just going to make a beeline right for the gateway. And that is going to take us into Coconino, which we then have to cross to get to the Sonoran Desert. Alright, so we're going to go into Coconino here. There is Coconino. So now that we're in Coconino, this is the route we're going to be following here. We're basically just going to be following the straight path all the way south, right over to the Sonoran Desert Gateway. That's pretty much where we're going. So we're going to drive straight out of the gateway here and make our way over to the ghost town. And most of this is pretty nice pathways. There's really not too much that we have to like avoid or go around here. So we're going to go right here and we're going to salute to the ghosts. Always make sure you salute the ghosts. Give them a nice little horn blast. Alright, so we're going to follow this path up here. And we're going to go up to the left here. I'm going to stay up. We're just going to follow this little like mini dirt road here. Takes us up onto this ridge. I'm just going to follow this ridge a little bit. We got some cracks, so we're going to go right over those. And then we're going to head to the right. And go right in between these trees here. And that is going to give us a good angle to head down by this dead tree here. We're going to go around the outside of it and make our way down into the water. We're going to climb over these rocks here. That's going to get us down into the water. Now it is pretty muddy in here, but that is no problem for the Tatcha Force. We're just going to power our way right through the water here. Make our way up onto this little landmass here. Get us out of the water for just a moment. Then we're going to head back in. We're going to climb up on this other side here. We want to stay to the left of this tree. And this is going to reconnect us with our dirt path. Which is going to abruptly end with another bog. So we're going to go ahead and cross this water too. Once we get over here, we're going to hit over this island, and this is going to take us to a rock clearing. If you haven't cleared this out, this is 75 spare parts to open up this rock clearing. We're going to go ahead and just make our way right up this hill here. And we're going to go ahead and make a left turn and head right through these trees. And this is going to reconnect us with a stretch of main pathway through Quinquinino here. So now that we're reconnected with the main path, we're going to follow this for just a little bit. And we're going to head to the right here. And then head down to the left into some more water. And we're just going to follow this right through the rocks here. We're going to head down this way, and you can see another ghost up in the distance there. We'll make sure we give him a nice little salute as we go past the ghost here. There he is. We go up here and salute the ghost. There we go. Let them know we appreciate them. Alright, and then we're going to go to the left side of this rock. And we're going to climb down here. Right over this little ledge here. And then here we're going to dive down into this water. Across right here. This little ledge. It's going to allow us to get enough traction to get up here. And go right in between those trees. Actually, I missed this path here, so we're going to go right up this way. And this is going to take us right to the gateway. You can just ignore that other marker. We're here. Alright, so let's go on through to Sonoran Desert. All right, welcome to Sonoran Desert. All right, so real quick, here's what we're going to be doing. In Sonoran Desert, we're going to be heading down this way, crossing over the plains, heading this way. You can get down to the river right here, but it is much harder to get up to where we're trying to go from down there. So we're going to head around this way, up through these rocks. This is going to be a very tricky downhill climb. I'll show you when we get there. Right here is going to be that bridge I was talking about earlier. So that'll be 75 spare parts. Make sure you have those to build the bridge. Then we're going to climb up this way, head through here, all the way down here, grab our truck, and we just got to bring the truck to the outpost. After we get the truck uncovered, there's going to be a little scouting area up here. So that's why I have the drone operator with me, because there's going to be a little explore the area section once we get the truck delivered. So yeah, unfortunately, once you get the truck delivered, that is not the end of the mission. And actually, before we head off, I'm going to go ahead and top off the tank with a bunch of the fuel that we have with us. As you can see, I brought a ton of fuel with me for this one because, you know, we almost used our entire tank just getting to the map that we need to do the objective on, much less get to the objective and then do the objective, which is probably going to take a little while once we get there. We'll see. So anyway, we're going to head down here. I'm going to follow this path through here. And there's going to be a little hill we're going to go over. Right here. And we're going to head all the way to the left here, because we've got to take this little path here to the right. You can go to the left there, but I found that to be a little bit more challenging. You probably got to use anchors and stuff. It's just kind of a steep rock to get over there. So we're going to go around the back side of the rock here. And once we get over this, we got another rock that we're going to climb up on top of. And then we want to stay to the right here. Yeah, there we go. We want to climb up onto this. I was like, do I need to put an anchor down for that? I wasn't sure. But we made it. So that is a little bit of a tricky climb. If you are unsure about it, you know, feel free to throw an anchor down and just tether yourself to the rocks. Definitely helpful in sketchy situations like that where it's like, I don't know if this is going to tip or not. Alright, so what we're going to do now is head down here into the shadow of this big rock here. And from here we're going to make our way over towards these trees. We're going to stay on the upper ledge here. We're not going to go down. So we're going to stay up on this upper ledge. And we're just going to follow this ridge line for a bit. And we want to just hug this rock wall as much as we can here. Oh, look at that. We got us a lucky airdrop. This is perfect. So I'm going to take these anchors, dinosaur ribs, and we'll go ahead and top off our fuel reserves. Get all that fuel out of there we can. Yeah, sometimes those airdrops aren't here. You know, when I was coming down here to get the route planned for this video, and that airdrop was not there. So I always appreciate when the airdrops are in good locations. Absolutely enjoy that. For those of you that don't know, airdrops have set spawn points, but they don't spawn every single time you load the map, which is a little unfortunate, because it's like, I would love to be able to route, like, oh hey, make sure you stop by this airdrop, but it's like, you know, I try to point out airdrops if they're like nearby on the routes, but it's hard to be like, oh, this is where the airdrops are, just because they're not there all the time, and so it wouldn't really be an efficient or useful resource to be like, this is where all the airdrops are. Now, once you discover an airdrop, if it is up on the map, you'll be able to see it. So always make sure you ping the airdrops with binoculars, even if you see them off in the distance. That way you can load into the map and see, oh, there's an airdrop over here for some additional route planning once you load into it. But yeah. So yeah, we're just going right through those two rocks there. And we're going to make our way all the way down here. And this is where we're going to get to the tricky climb that I was talking to you about. This is probably one of the most challenging parts of the Sonoran Desert section, other than getting the truck out, which is a problem in itself. So we're going to stay all the way to the left side of this rock wall here. We're going to roll down, and there's this very narrow path. It's a lot easier to get down here with scouts, but it's perfectly fine to get down here with the Tatra. So we're going to go right down here, and then down to this lower level. And then we're going to find another path down to the left here that we'll be able to use. And yeah, this is the bridge. You'll want to build this bridge. It's 75 spare parts. You're going to be using this bridge a lot. So go ahead and build this bridge. It is a fantastic bridge. Alright, so once we get across here, now we have the climb. So to get up the climb, we're going to head to the left here. And then we got to make a sharp turn to the right, which is easier said than done. Just kind of get the right positioning here. There we go. Got the right angle. Now we can just kind of squeeze our way up. Alright, and then we're going to stay to the left side of this rock wall here. Right next to it. We're going to go up here. Again, this is a very tricky climb here. And once we get over here, we're going to take this little path up the hill here. Now, what's nice about this section, this final section, even though this is the steepest part, it is very straightforward. And there's a tree right here, so I'm just going to use this tree. And that is just going to yank us all the way up. You don't have to use the tree. The tree just makes it way easier. Alright, so now that we're here, we're going to head up and to the right here. Because we are now on top of the outpost plateau. So once we get up to the plateau, we're going to head to the left, go right in between these rocks here. And that is our delivery point. So that is going to be where we're taking the truck. So once we get over here, we're going to head to the right. And we're going to go ahead and follow this path across the plateau here. And we're going to head to the left here. We're going to cross the plains to the right. And we're going to go ahead and get up on this ledge here. Because we need to hug this. So make our way through here. And this is going to allow us to get right down into the little canyon area where the truck is, so that we can go rescue it. And the truck we do have to pull is a Step 310, so that is why I have the Tatra Force with me, because it is going to have enough power and oomph to just yank this thing out of here. We're going to go ahead and make our way around these trees. And we're going to go ahead and make our way over to this tree here, which is going to be our ramp down and into this little gorge here. So we're just going to head all the way down to the bottom here. So we're going to follow this up. And we're going to go up on the left here. We got to go around these rocks to get up over here. And there it is. There is our step 310 that we need to get out of here. So I'm just going to yank this thing from the back, and we're just going to pull it right out. Fire this thing on, and we're actually going to pull this truck out of here backwards, because we want, when this engine fires, we want those back tires to have all the traction. Because we want as much ground clearance as we can going up these hill climbs. And the back of the truck has basically nothing that it can get caught on. So that's why this one in particular we're going to pull from the back. Because otherwise that front bumper can catch on some of the rocks we're going to be climbing over to get this thing out of here. Alright, so I'm trying to just get this thing lined up. There we go. Alright, so with the truck towed very closely behind us, we're going to make our way back over to the outpost. So we're going to head down. Cross over this way. Actually, it is almost nighttime, so I'm going to change this back to morning. That way you can see a little bit better as we do this tricky part of the climb here. Alright, so this is where we're going to fire this thing up. I'm going to put the Tatra in low gear as we just climb our way up here. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to put an anchor down, like right here. And that is going to get the Tatra up over this ledge. So with the Tatra free, now we just got to get the step up here. And this is why, see these rock ledges we're going over? This is why I wanted to pull it from the back, because now that truck's bumper is not going to get hung up on those rocks as we're pulling this thing out of here. It just makes it go way smoother. Alright, so we're going to go to the right and try to get a nice wide turn. I'm heading up to this next climb here. This one does have a tree if we need it, but we should be able to just climb up here with this, the Tatra. And if the Tatra's going to get up here, it is going to pull the step up here with no problems. Just like that, nice and easy. Get this thing up here. Alright, So tires are pressured back up. Alright, let's go ahead and get turned around. And we're going to make our way over to the outpost. Alright, so I'm going to pull it nice and close to us here. And yeah, the route we took to get over here, we're basically just going to take that all the way back to the outpost where we can drop this truck off, and then we got to go do some exploring. So with this turn right here, we don't necessarily need to be as close to that wall as we were on the way in here. So we can kind of take a nice wider turn going through that corner. Which is helpful because when you're towing a truck, you're going to want to take wider turns anyway. Just because you don't want the truck you're towing to get caught on a tree. Because that just turns into an absolute mess when that happens. So now, the hard part is pretty much over now. It's pretty much just flat, open ground all the way back to the outpost. So if you've made it this far, we're not done yet. But you're past all the hurdles. Now it's all about just getting to the finish line. So yeah, we got to get the truck up here. So we're going to head to the left side here. And there's going to be a spot with no rock ledges. So we're just going to climb over that. And that is going to get our truck over here. Boom. And then it's like, hey, you're not done yet. There's a truck that's badly beaten, but we're sure that you will finish the delivery. This will be very useful for us in future expeditions. So what we're going to do now is head south from the outpost here. So we're going to climb up onto here. And we got to be careful here. We're going to stay all the way to the left side. That is going to allow us to climb down here. So we're just going to follow this path just straight south out of the outpost here. And you can see we're now getting explore the area percentage. We've officially entered the area of exploration. So what I'm going to do is drive up onto this ledge here. Right here, congratulations, we had enough fuel to get this done. And from here, I'm going to move binoculars around. Over here. And you can see we are at 79% now, so I'm going to look for, looks like we just got to go up onto this ridge, and up onto this ridge, and a little bit behind us as well. So we can go ahead and shut the truck off for now. We are done with that. Just going to fly the drone up and around these ridges. Just like that. We're going to fly over this one too. So this was missing a spot. And the last bit of it should be right over this ridge here. You can see this is where we got the truck from. So we had to go all the way down into that little ridge down there in order to get up over to the other side here where we're now scouting. So I'm just going to follow this ridgeline here. That should get it done. There we go. There you have it. Let's get out of the drone. Let's take a look at this. So yeah, this is heavy load done. This is without a doubt the longest expedition in expeditions. It's the only one that has you crossing into 3 different maps. And it's a doozy. Like I said, I brought so much fuel. We still had fuel left over because I used that specialist with the 20% less fuel consumption. Great specialist. So yeah, completing this one unlocks the radar module, which is fantastic for exploration missions where you have like an explore the area. You can park right in the middle of it, pop the radar, boom, everything's explored around you. It's a great module to have. So enjoy this. Enjoy the central outpost, which will now allow you to explore into Coconino. So hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.